coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor. This is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
Hi, I'm Victoria Parent, and you're watching MediaPlex News Now. In our top story, an exclusive to MediaPlex News, Ryan Blevins and Michael Hugo bring us the details.
With the WEXA basketball season approaching, Catholic Central head coach Peter Kuzmano is introducing a new face to the team. A native of Sudan, Jonathan Nicola stands at 6 feet 9 inches tall, and sources say he could potentially be a lottery pick for the NBA. The catch? Jonathan is 16 years old. The Comets are beginning the year without standout 4'5" forward Malik Kalu, but with the addition of Jonathan, his teammates are excited to see what he can bring to the floor.
Even though we lost Malik and Eric, that's hurt us, but he didn't hurt us as much because we have a really good, talented team. We are real athletic, and I believe that we can win this year.
It's safe to say the entire province will be put on high alert as Jonathan prepares to take the court Friday, November 27th for the annual Freeds Tip-Off Tournament. Kuzmano is hopeful that Jonathan will be ready to play.
We had him for a few minutes. He can't teach height, and he's athletic. There's a big learning curve, but hopefully we get there with him.
For MediaPlex News, I'm Michael Hugo.
It has been a week since the Paris attacks. Kayla Wang brings you the latest.
It's times such as these where we need each other and we need to hold each other's hands and support one another.
It has been a week now since Paris was attacked. People all over the world condemn the radical terrorist attack. Windsor has a big population of Muslims. Most of them are students. Shasida, a university student from Windsor, says she was heartbroken when she saw the news.
Well, obviously, killing anyone is not, okay. So all over the world, there's wars, there's all these different things happening which are killing innocent people. So I don't agree with killing anyone. And if someone is committing a crime like that, then they should be punished for it.
A female high school student, she gives her own opinions about the attack in Paris as a younger generation of Muslims.
It's really sad because people are doing this in the name of Islam, but it's not what Islam says. Islam does not say kill innocent people. Yeah. So I'm 100% against ISIS and what they stand for.
In order to against the violence, the Muslim Students Association from the University of Windsor had a candle vigil for the victims on 19th November.
We are all here tonight to extend our thoughts and our prayers, to pay our respects to all those who have had their lives taken from them too early and too unfairly. We are not here because we belong to a specific country, and we are not here because we belong to a specific religion. We are here because we are human. Tonight, we have a powerful list of speakers who will share their thoughts and reflections on those who have fallen victim to horrific acts around the world.
Reporting for MediaPlex News, this is Kayla Wang.
Now let's go outside to the corner of University in Victoria where Alana Wills has a special guest.
Thanks, Victoria. Joining us now is Christine Desjardins, a third-year music theater performer at St. Clair College, who's taking part in this year's Christmas show. Thanks, Christine.
Thank you for having me, Alana.
No problem. So what is this year's Christmas show all about?
This year's Christmas show is a venture through the 20th century in a fabulous theater that we have set up. It ventures from a vaudeville setting through the 20s, war, depression, all the way to the 80s, and a New Year's Eve 2000.
Sounds very glamorous. So who exactly puts on this Christmas show?
Our Christmas show is put on by the first, second, and third years of the music theater and entertainment technology students. It's mainly a showcase for our third-year students, though, what we work up to through the entire program, and it is definitely a big payoff.
What kind of work goes into putting on a show like this? How long does it take?
Well, technically, we've been working on this since the program started, trying to figure out what we're going to do, what our theme's going to be, but we've been really cracking down since September with dance calls, auditions, and just always finding songs, performances, numbers to do, dances. It's great.
I'm just curious, how did you choose the theme for this year, actually?
How we chose the theme? Oh, goodness, I'm not even sure. We were all together in April discussing ideas. We wanted to go back in time and come back to the future, but we decided venturing through the entire century would be a real treat for everyone.
And I'm sure our viewers are very curious, where can they buy tickets for the show?
You can buy tickets at the Chrysler Theater or online at thechryslertheater.com, which is also known as the St. Clair Center of the Performing Arts.
Yeah. And can you give them a little preview about what some standout moments are from the show?
Oh, big dance numbers, lots of pyrotechnics for sure, and the orchestra is going to be absolutely amazing.
Well, it sounds like an amazing time. I can't wait to see the turnout. Thanks so much for joining us today, Christine.
Thank you.
Back to you, Victoria.
Humans aren't the only species who can have PTSD. Pets can too. Shelby Hernandez reports.
Although it may not be obvious looking at her, Siberian Husky Miley suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder. The mental disorder has commonly been seen in humans, but for pets, PTSD is a very real problem. As a pup, when she was bad, her past owners would spray her face with a shower faucet or would throw her in the bathroom where she would remain for long periods of time. Now, even with her current owner, Jen St. Jean, working with her, loud noises, men, and bathtubs leave her cowering in fear. According to animal behaviorist Kelly French, pets often remember their bad experiences.
Dogs remember the past. There's some prominent dog trainers on TV who claim the dogs get over their past really quick. And some dogs do. Some dogs do seem to kind of get over it and move on. A lot holds it to heart the rest of their life.
Since pets with PTSD may lash out if forced to deal with their fears, Windsor-Essex County Humane Society Executive Director Melanie Coulter says to take baby steps.
If you are forced into a situation that terrifies you, sometimes you're going to react in the only way you feel you can and just use whatever tools to try to escape. So by giving them patience, letting them approach things on their own initiative, rewarding them as they do, and positive reinforcement, you can definitely work through a lot of these situations.
According to St. Jean, there have been people who didn't understand Miley, but to those people, St. Jean says her dog's problems are real.
They're just like people. They end up with traumas. Trauma triggers, certain things trigger it, and they take a little more patience.
So the next time you get a pet who has some issues, remember to take them to see a professional to find out how you can help them. For MediaPlex News, I'm Shelby Hernandez.
Alana Wills is outside, and she is with Veronique Mendel to talk about the upcoming St. Clair College Open House. Alana?
I'm here with Program Coordinator Veronique Mandel. Hi, Veronique.
How are you?
So you're going to tell us about something very special happening here this Saturday at the MediaPlex. What is the open house exactly, and what can students expect when they come here?
Every year about this time, we invite prospective students and their parents and anyone else who wants to come and check out our programs to come in from 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock. And it really does give people an opportunity to come in and see what we do and to see if the kind of programming we have is what they're looking for.
So what's the schedule of events going to be like for Saturday?
Well, I'm hoping that a whole bunch of you will be on hand, along with many of the professors, to give tours of the MediaPlex and to talk about all of the different programs, because we have journalism and the graduate year in media convergence and, of course, public relations all in the building. And we also have travel and tourism. But I'm responsible for the others, so I know more about them.
Lucky you.
I am lucky. And in addition to the tours, the students and the professors will be able to really answer any questions and really give people a good sense of the kind of media education they'll get when they come here.
So it can be pretty intimidating to be a new student, come to a new school, maybe even a new city. What would you say to a student who's kind of hesitant about coming on Saturday?
One of the unique things about coming to school in the MediaPlex, and I think you can attest to this, is that we really are a big family, and we look after each other and we look after the students. And if you're intimidated by going to a big school or leaving home, or even if you're in a big city and you want to come somewhere where you get a very hands-on type of media education, then you should come and check us out, because it's a very warm, friendly atmosphere.
So that sounds like an amazing experience, amazing opportunity. I can't wait to see the turnout on Saturday. Thanks so much for joining us, Veronique.
You're welcome.
Back to you, Victoria.
Now let's take a look at Jillian Tone's report on International Children's Day.
The City of Windsor hosted the family event at Adventure Bay for Universal Children's Day. The community collaborative initiative exceeded expectations.
It's actually a perfect day to target our target audience.
Efforts to promote the day paid off with a large turnout that included first-time visitors.
The first time I'm coming to Adventure Bay, they told me there is many activities. I have been here only 2 months in Canada, that's why. So my friend, she told me, come, they will enjoy the time here.
The event showcased the impact of local community partnerships and local resources in the community.
The importance of it is that the children's health and well-being is critical for them to thrive in a community, and we felt that this was the best opportunity to do that.
Part of the admission fees for the day go towards the Jumpstart Nutrition program in our community. I'm Jillian Toman for MediaPlex News Now.
It's time to go outside once more for a quick weather update.
Thanks, Victoria. Right now, it's a rather cool 2 degrees Celsius. Tonight will be clear and drop down to 0 degrees. Check back in later in the show when I have the 3-day forecast. Back to you, Victoria.
Reporter Cameron Chelsea sat down with a special guest in this 3 Minutes With.
Hello, I'm Cameron Chelsea, and this is 3 Minutes with Julie Bordeloti, the Volunteer and Fund Development Coordinator for the Lung Association. Julie, what kinds of awareness campaigns has the Lung Association put together for this year's Lung Cancer Awareness Month?
Okay, it's actually Lung Month.
Lung Month.
So it encompasses all of lung disease, whether it's asthma, COPD, lung cancer, that type of thing. We have offices around Ontario. We're all involved in approaching our municipalities, asking them. In Windsor, for example, Mayor Dilkins has issued a proclamation that November is Lung Month in Windsor. We've done that in different communities around Ontario. We've also been taking part in a number of health and wellness fairs, so we've been out in the community. Last week I was in Thamesville, last week I was in Windsor, yesterday I was at the University of Windsor doing a health fair, trying to raise awareness about lung health and different volunteer opportunities that are available. We're encouraging people to have, if they're having issues with breathing, we're encouraging them to have a spirometry test, which is they go into a hospital and they blow really hard into a tube to measure their breathing capacities, so that can tell the respirologists or the nurses whether they have any kind of lung health issues.
Thank you. How do lung cancer rates compare in Canada compared to other countries?
Well, specifically I was looking at the U.S. compared to Canada. In the U.S. there are, let's say, 323 million people. In Canada there are 32 million people. The rates are not very far apart. 7.88% of lung cancers in the U.S. compared to 6.88%. So that, I think, averages out to about 253,000 people in both countries who are dealing with it. The majority of people, men are more likely, about up to 90% of lung cancers are men, up to 70% or so are women. So men tend to be more likely to have lung cancer.
What can people do to reduce their risk, other than quitting smoking?
Well, quitting smoking is the major thing. Stay away from secondhand smoke. So try to encourage, if you have for example, I have a family member who smokes, and he does not smoke in the house. He does not smoke in the car. That eliminates the secondhand smoke opportunities for his family, so that helps to prevent their issues, any kind of issues with lung health. I remember growing up, my grandmother never smoked a day in her life, but she rented out her rooms in her house to boarders. They would sit at the kitchen table every day, smoking, and as she got older, a spot of cancer was found on her lung, and that was due to secondhand smoke, not to her own smoking, because she didn't smoke.
All right, thank you very much, Julie. This has been 3 Minutes with Julie Bordeloti.
If you enjoy photography and modeling, you will enjoy this report by Cassandra Malinowski.
What started out as a simple get-together with friends has expanded to a large workshop, bringing models and photographers together in a creative local event. Joey Acott, a professional photographer, graphic designer, and musician, was the man behind this new event.
I started these workshops a couple months ago. I just wanted to get photographers and models together and kind of network a bit, and maybe somebody could teach me a thing, maybe I could teach somebody a thing, and I just wanted everyone to get together and have a great time.
For 19-year-old Derwin Taylor, modeling was a completely new experience.
At first I heard about it from my cousin and he told me about this group and I was like, oh, awesome, it's so exciting because I've been wanting to model for a while and this was like the coolest opportunity to do that because I heard that it was pretty much free, all you have to do is donate and stuff like that, right? And it's to get experience and everything like that, so I'm like, oh, this is sweet and I can do this. This was a really cool experience for me to do.
Haley Mai, a 20-year-old professional photographer, is an avid supporter of Joey's workshop.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a great place for like everyone to come and learn new things or to get experience with models and how to work with a model, how to work with other photographers, different lighting situations. I love it.
So next month I plan on doing another one inside a studio, and it seems as though we've had a lot of success. We've had some first-time models, we've had some first-time photographers, and I think people are learning and having fun, and that was the goal. Mission accomplished.
Gina Wasserlane is the guest in this edition of 3 Minutes With.
Hi, I'm Samantha Wakefield, and welcome to 3 Minutes with the owner of the Downtown Yoga Studio, Gina Wasserlane. I understand you've owned the Downtown Yoga Studio for over 13 years. What made you open it?
Well, I was a school teacher first, and I was a new teacher, and it was really stressful. And I did a fitness competition during my time as a school teacher, and I was really tight and unhealthy from the way we had to eat as a fitness competitor. And my friend gave me a yoga video to try. At the time, it was an actual video.
Right.
And it was really hard. It was a power yoga class, and I thought it was so challenging. And I did it, and I couldn't do the whole thing, and she said, just keep trying a little bit every day, and I did. Long story short, 6 months later, I quit my job as a school teacher, decided to take a teacher training course, and moved to Windsor because my sister and her husband were having a baby. My parents lived here as well, and just opened up a little space at the Capitol Theater.
Okay, do you know what the health benefits are of yoga?
Yes. Actually, the reason why I wanted to open up a studio is because I felt so happy inside, so peaceful, de-stressed. I would worry all the time. That was one of the things I did all the time, was worry. And yoga lowers your stress, the stress hormone called cortisol, and it also helps your adrenals. It helps you from the inside out. Your internal organs function more optimally. Your mind is more peaceful, and you just have an overall better outlook, a positive outlook on life. It's kind of weird how that all happens together. And the external benefits are you're stronger, you're leaner, you're more toned, and more flexible.
So, how has practicing yoga for so long helped you in your life?
It just helps me listen to my intuition and choose, make better decisions for myself. It helps me live healthier and more honest life, and it just helps me be the best version of myself I can be. And because I teach, it keeps me on my toes, right? I have to practice more consistently and practice what I preach. So it really helps a lot.
Right. So for somebody who's just starting out yoga, how often should they practice?
You can start consistently once a week. The big key is consistency. So if it's a Monday night, a beginner class at 5:30, try to make that the routine. Like you fit it like a doctor's appointment, and you just consistently add a class. So instead of adding all these classes at once, just start once a week and then add more.
Right.
So you enjoy it.
So that's all the time we have for today. I'm Samantha Wakefield, and thank you for joining us for 3 Minutes with Gina Wasserlane, the owner of the Downtown Yoga Studio.
Business Alert, a special summit was held in Windsor. Alexandra Latchmwe reports.
The St. Clair Center for the Arts is usually home to college students. However, on Thursday, it saw some incredibly innovative high school students.
The St. Clair Center for the Arts hosted the second annual Entrepreneurial Summit last Thursday. There, over 400 local teens learned the ropes of, what else?
Entrepreneurship in Windsor. Amid mingling and visiting informative booths, students heard from guest speakers such as the president of Liquid Wild Media, Steve Nicodemo. Nicodemo says it's important for high school students to see Windsor has innovative job opportunities.
I think it's great, with our city, starting to grow and Detroit right across the river, that they can, students can see what kind of opportunities they have here available for them.
One student from Assumption College Catholic High School says she likes that the summit targets high school students.
I think that it is centered around high school students because once you're in college and university, you kind of know what you're doing. You kind of figure it out, right? But in high school, you're still trying to discover yourself. You're still trying to discover who you want to be and what you want to do.
But for those who aren't in high school, not to worry. The St. Clair Genesis Center is also available to help post-secondary entrepreneurs get off the ground. For MediaPlex News, I'm Alex Latrimwe.
And now, let's go back to Alana Wills one last time for your 3-day forecast.
Did you know that Canada's coldest city is a tie between Regina and Saskatoon? Windsor didn't even make the top 10. Now that I've given you some good news, let's take a look at the 3-day forecast. Tomorrow, it will be sunny with a high of 8 Celsius and a low of 6. Thursday will be mainly sunny with a high and a low of 10. And on Friday, we can expect some rain with a high of 13 and a low of -1. I'm Alana Wills. That's all from me from the corner of University and Victoria. Stay warm tonight. Back to you in the studio.
Are you a geek or want to be? Then this segment might be for you.
Good day, geeks. I'm Rhiannon Lotz.
I'm Christian Bouchard.
And I'm Caleb Workman.
And we are E Squared.
Coming up, we got some news about The Walking Dead, a review of a new comic book, and a gamer survival guide.
But first, the news.
In today's first story, fans of Breaking Bad can now get up and personal with the show. Stars Bryan Cranston, Aaron Paul, and RJ Mitte, to name a few, attended an event at the Smithsonian to donate props from the show to the museum. The props include Tyvek suits, Hank's DEA identification card, a Better Call Saul matchbook, and, of course, a bag of the meth that made the show famous. Finally, Daniel Fleetwood, the terminally ill Star Wars fan whose final wish was to see Star Wars The Force Awakens, has died. His death came just a few days after his wish was granted, and he saw an unedited version of the film. May the Force be with you, Daniel, always. And now, let's go to Christian Bouchard.
When it comes to reinventing classic characters with massive crossover appeal, Grant Morrison has never been one to shy away from the challenge. Morrison's latest venture into iconic characters is one of the most widely recognized names in history, Santa Claus. So what stands out in Claus number 1 is the potential of the main character. Although he isn't the Claus that we all know and love, we do see glimpses. In this world, children are not allowed to play, and any indication of fun is responded to with violence. The threads of a dark fairy tale are there, and all fans of Game of Thrones are sure to like. While Morrison does write a story brimming with magic and wonder, Dan Mora, the artist, creates a world both cold yet full of magic. It is powerful, breathtaking, and sums up a lot about Klaus as a survivor. This book is now a combination of great writing and art that works and bridges reality and fantasy. Klaus number 1 reads like the perfect Christmas story. If the first issue is anything to go by, it is bound to be one magical ride. I give this book 9 out of 10 for a wonderful blend of storytelling through writing as well as visual storytelling. And now I'm going to turn it over to Caleb Workman for the short walkthrough of the new Fallout.
Welcome to the first ever edition of Gamer Survival Guide. Today, we're going to be talking about what everyone's talking about. That's right, Fallout 4. In this post-apocalyptic world, no one is safe and anyone can turn on you, not to mention wild mutants and deathclaws rampaging throughout the world. Here are some quick tips to make sure you make it through the game alive. Stock up on ammo. With raiders and mutants around any corner, you need to have a high supply of ammo at all times. Scrounge every box and take from every dead body. You'll need it. Modification. There is nothing you cannot mod in this game. From your weapons to your armor, there are upgrades and perks for everything. Use them to stay safe and to wreak as much devastation as possible. Keeping X-Rads and health items available. You will be attacked and you will be radiated, so make sure you're prepared to keep yourself healthy. Radiation and danger is everywhere, and X-Rads and Stimpaks will help you with that. Build yourself a nice vacation house. When all is said and done, you want a nice escape to get back to. A secluded house with no one to worry about is a good idea. Keep your stocks here and build up some fancy decorations. There's no place like home. For more tips and tricks, stay tuned. It's a tough world out there, but we'll always help you out.
That's all for E Squared today, so until next time, may the force be with you.
Cowabunga! And remember, E Squared will be back.
A charity comedy show was recently held by Pride Fest. Anthony Sheardown has the details.
The Windsor Essex Pride Fest puts on a comedy show twice a year to raise money for charity. They hosted their most recent show, Fruit Punch 2, at the Walkerville Brewery on Friday to raise money for the George Hannah Red Scholarship. Mel Lucier is a local comedian and is also on the board of directors and volunteer coordinator for the Windsor Essex Pride Fest. She says they do many other events to raise money for charities throughout the year as well.
We do events all year long, and the Pride Festival in the summer is our largest one, and it has funded about 6 or 7 charities that we're able to give money to this year. So always donations will go to the needy organizations. And St. Clair College is a priority for us as well. The students are very important.
The Windsor Essex Pride Fest has an event each year in August. Mel says since she has been involved in it, it has grown each year and more people show their support. She said this year's was the largest so far with 8,000 people.
I've been involved with the Pride Fest for about 10 years, and it's evolved from what used to be known as a party in the park to like this huge, even education. We have booths set up, we provide public education, we provide services to the families as well. We have a family day where the firemen were there educating the children, and there was bouncy castles, and it's just to support the community at large.
Chris Mayu is a local comedian and was also the opening act on Friday. He says he is happy to support an event like this with a good cause.
It's always amazing every time I get a new step, like a new chance in comedy. Like tonight, just being able to perform for a cause like this, it's incredible just being only in here for a year and a half, seeing how far I've come, but any chance I get to do something as awesome as this, I'm happy, for sure.
There was over 60 people in attendance at the show on Friday night. Tickets were $20 in advance and $25 at the door. The money made from the event that will go into the George Hannah Scholarship will be going to a St. Clair College student.
If you're looking for holiday activities, then Christmas Comic-Con 4 promises to be fun.
Hi, I'm Tony Gray, the artist and writer for Tales of the Incredible Conduit, owner of Glass Monkey, and this is Mike Michalski, a buddy of mine. We're putting together the Windsor Christmas Comic-Con again this year. Mike runs this.
Number 4.
What else you got going this year?
Well, we're looking to make a brand new friend this year, and that's a Hall of Fame friend in Jim Stranko. True icon in the industry, helped revolutionize the industry in the 60s, was right there at Silver Age Marvel when everything was happening, and took it to a whole new level. And of course, we have the Night of Superstars VIP party, something that we've offered some VIP parties in the past. This is exceptional, even beyond our normal standards. This is Jim Steranko is going to be here in Glass Monkey Studios. Truly going to be a great show. Christmas Comic-Con, VIP party Saturday, still tickets available, and come on out Sunday, kids 10 and under free.
Where can I get the tickets?
Tickets are available online on Snapped, or you can contact me directly at mikefreelance@gmail.com, and tickets for the comic convention itself will be available at the door.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Victoria Parent, and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.